I gotta lower the music. Music is lowered. So I was thinking about
more.
It is lowered.
Lower more than that.
I was thinking about having like
crazy with the music.
it's the weekly wrap up show, like a song that we start with. Would that be?
Maybe we could make a show up.
No, I mean we sing live.
They
I
don't have a good.
The students in chat want us to sing live. It's the weekly wrap. No, okay, it's a terrible idea. I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly wrap up for May 8th. This is Mr. Vulture, Mrs. Vulture. Hello.
Mrs. Vulture, Mr. Vulture.
Mrs. Vulture, Mr. Vulture. Yeah. So this week was Teacher Appreciation Week. That was a good thing. I got some nice emails, some super sweet emails from students.
Too. So nice. Thank you guys.
One of them, I'm not going to spoil it, but one Reese almost made me cry. She was like, I miss you. Anyway, it was sad. But we don't have to talk about that.
Mr. Vulture cries. He's like
in commercials.
Hallmark commercial channel
it's
crying.
True. The older I get, the more teary-eyed I become.
His dad was like that too.
All right, let's not talk about
criers.
Mr. Vulture. Yeah, so there's that. Hi, everyone in chat. Mr. Didi, I see you. Mrs. DeVoe. Mr. Babsine, how's everyone doing? This week on the weekly wrap-up show, we have an amazing top 5 how to be a boss at homeschooling, which is going to be pretty cool.
Homeschool like a boss.
Homeschool like a boss. We also have an amazing guest this week, Miss Dr. Reggio, the one and only. So we'll be checking in with that person. And I
love your hand expressions. You're like, Dr. Reggio.
Yeah, the 8th grade team, when we had our Zoom meeting on Thursday, they said that apparently I rock. I'm a rock. I got a squeaky chair too. So anyway,
that's funny.
There's that.
But he does this too.
I do.
So funny. Okay.
Yes.
So we got a lot of amazing teachers that wrote some things for us to read to you guys today.
I did tell them, instead of doing regular announcements that we've been doing the last couple of weeks, instead of doing that, to write some advice.
Yeah, give you guys some advice. Because we're getting into the 4th quarter now, and for those of you that aren't doing any schoolwork, it's probably really starting to pile up. So we want to give you some tips for those of you that maybe got a rough start, or those of you who are doing exceptionally well, but you're finding it hard to maybe stay engaged, how to better do that.
I find it difficult to stay engaged sometimes.
You're rocking right now.
Even watching Netflix, I get bored. I'm bored of TV. Do you find this? Because we're home so much?
I don't get bored of TV.
Oh, see, I'm bored of...
I'm reading...
it's the same shows.
I'm reading a book, and now I'm reading another book, and I'm getting addicted to reading.
The reading is good. Okay. So this is... we haven't heard from Mr. Turnout, and this is from Mr. Turnout. Here's some words of wisdom for the great Turnout. Dear student... Which last week, by the way, you see his high school picture? We were like brothers. It's amazing. Dear students, we know this is new to all of us, teachers included. Whenever you are working on an assignment, please be sure to read through all directions carefully. Yes, sometimes it may require you reading through directions several times before you completely understand them. Also, I would suggest trying to take notes as you go. This is such a good idea, by the way, this part.
I love this.
If you have not, start a journal and take notes for each subject as you're working on an assignment. In the end, teachers are just looking for your best effort. Our goal is to give you the best learning experience possible. We know and understand there are limitations, but we are all trying to do our best. Be sure to check your teachers' websites as well as their Google Classroom each and every day. Staying up to date is really important at this time. It is never too late to go back and do an assignment either. Lastly, communicate with your teachers if you have questions. Your teachers will try their best to get back to you as quickly as possible and help you any way they can. Wake up each day and try to get in the mindset of being in a classroom and learning as much as possible. The more you can put yourself on a schedule of sorts, the more successful you're going to be. I miss you all middle schoolers, and I cannot wait to see you again. Think and stay positive. Sincerely, the one and only Mr. Turnout. By the way, he just spoiled all of our top 5.
Well, we agree with him on a lot of the things that we wrote down when we were coming up with this idea were things that he also said. So
amazing job, Mr. Turnout.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Turnout.
Thank you. And now we're going to go to our special guests. Are you all ready?
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, so I'm recording. Hi.
Hi.
How are you? How's everything going?
Everything's going well.
We're doing.
Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah. It's crazy, but I think we're We're doing the hardest thing, I think, is like every day just kind of feels like the same day. It's like
Yes, it's like Groundhog Day. You
over.
get up and do the same thing every day.
Yeah, but we're honing that. We're making it better, and we're getting in our own routines, and we're doing much better.
Yeah,
so.
Sometimes I can't believe it's Friday. I'm like, is it Friday already?
Yes,
Like, it goes so fast.
And I think a good thing too is there is a differentiation between the weekend and not, where it used to be one big thing, but now we've figured out how to like have Friday and then enjoy the weekend and get back Monday.
Yes.
So we do a little reading and stuff on the weekend, but we still take the weekend.
She does.
Yeah, we have found that a routine definitely helps, and a schedule, so to speak. I know we're all so used to bells and schedule time frame, so we have a schedule for a family too, and it definitely helps know what day of the week it is. I keep my same calendar that I have at my desk at work, which is sometimes sad because I see the events that, you know, like we would have been in Frost Valley today.
I know today would have been day 3.
Day 3, we'd be coming home. So I always have that in my mind. So that's sometimes hard. But we're also kind of looking at all those events and planning how we can kind of make that up for our students. So I feel like keeping my calendar has helped. And also, you know, like you said, differentiating the weekends, like we'll make pancakes every Saturday morning, so it feels like a Saturday, you know, things like that.
Well, we have been telling our students about how much work that you are doing behind the scenes about those missed events. So thank you for that on behalf of them, because they reach out to us all the time, and we say it's being worked on. They're thinking of you. Like, the administrators know that you guys are missing these things. They're just as upset as you are. So it's good that you even brought that up.
Thank you. Yeah. So definitely that's hard. And I'm sure to all the students, you're looking at the calendars just like we are. So you should know that each building principal has made a spreadsheet of every single event and field trip for the school that has been missed due to the COVID-19 closure. And we are working hard to see, you know, which things we can kind of make up for next year, what things can be done virtually, and how we can kind of address each of those items.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, really, that means a lot, I think, to students. So thank you.
So this week we're doing our top 5 homeschooling like a boss, and so we were curious, what would be some advice that you would give to students about how to be the master at homeschool?
I would say a couple of things. First thing we touched on is to try to have a routine and a structure. You know, try to wake up around the same time each day and have a schedule, so that you know, doing that will help you feel kind of on track. Like if you want to start with math, or always go on Mr. Vultures Lives and things like that. So have a schedule and a routine that you stick to. Also stay connected to your teachers, stay connected to your friends, your family, your grandparents. I know there's like Zoom that we're using right now, FaceTime if you have an iPhone, things like that, to kind of see the people that you're used to seeing in your life. And also, academics aside, I would say just to really try to connect with your family members. Try to, I know it's easy to kind of, for the kids, stay in their bedroom. Try to get out of your room and go into your family's kitchen, your living room, and spend time with your families, and enjoy that time together, you know, at the dinner table. A lot of times we're so involved with, to our students, they're so involved with sports and after school activities. And now, you know, the sad part is that we don't have those things outside the home, but the positive is that you can all be together, I think, at night, which is something that I see, you know, we're always so busy at night. So I would say try to get out of your bedroom and spend time with your family.
Don't isolate yourself even further. It's not necessary. Like, you're all in the same house. It's I didn't even think about it. It's a great point.
I know.
And like, you can
it's like bonding with your siblings.
Well, and you can teach if you have siblings, or you have a parent at home that is able-bodied, you can take them outside and play lacrosse, show them how to throw a lacrosse ball and have a catch with them. Like, do things that you wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity to do if you were at practice all the time and just going through the grind of things. That's a really great idea. And with the weather getting nicer,
except for this weekend,
go play soccer with your mom. You know,
we're supposed to have a polar vortex. It's gonna be cold.
I know.
Just a couple days though. It's that final. We always have that final.
And I got her a hammock for Mother's Day.
You did?
I did. And it's upstairs. And It's supposed to be like
I
below
saw a box. I
freezing.
didn't
I'm
know
like,
it
I was
was.
gonna have it set up and like she can go out.
Oh, that's a very nice Mother's Day gift, Mr.
Now it's
Porter.
gonna be covered in snow. So
I'll put it in the living room. I'll just
Yeah.
pretend.
that's what I want.
And it's Friday, so it's not too late to make your moms a homemade Mother's Day card.
Yeah.
That's
Treat
true.
your moms
Yes.
well.
The best kind of Mother's Day card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a mom at home, do for grandma or the aunt or the female in your life that mothers you, because, you know, us ladies, we work hard to make sure you're taken care
I
of.
know. It totally overshadows Father's Day.
No, it doesn't. Mother's Day is later in the summer. It's
No,
always nice
we get-
weather.
we get
Us
the
moms, we
bum
get the
endings.
cold weather. You're crazy. Well, it's so nice to see your
Yes.
face. We miss you so much. Thank you
I
for
know, I
everything
miss-
you're doing.
You're welcome. I miss you too, Mr. and Mrs. Vulture, and I miss all my students. I hope you're all doing well, and please feel free to reach out. You all have my email, so you can email me anytime if you'd like to talk or communicate, and, you know, keep on, I would say, just doing what you're doing and working hard. I know it's hard to put forth the effort that you do in the classroom, sometimes at home, especially if you're sitting on your bed doing school, which I know is a lot of times what, you know, you are doing. So try to just stay focused, keep working hard, stay connected to your teachers, and we will be back at school at some point. So this will come to an end and we will be back in the school. I was in the school this morning working on some things, and it was nice to be back. And I know that all of you will have that same feeling when you walk through the doors. So I look forward to seeing all of you.
It's still there. No.
Still there. Everyone's working hard at the school. And I can't wait to see all of you again.
Awesome.
All right,
Well,
thank
thank you.
you.
Have a great weekend and
Yes.
happy Mother's Day
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're back.
We're back.
Dr. Reggie is the best.
She's awesome.
I know. Homemade mother. I'm not gonna make you a homemade because you're not my mom. But
Thanks.
I'm gonna be making my mother a homemade Mother's Day. So,
Yeah, we did a lot of gardening and mulching
I know, my
and
hands.
things for Mr. Vulture's mom for Mother's Day.
Got dirt under my fingernails, folks. All right, so
I hurt my back.
she did. Guys, I feel like one of us
We're
always
old.
gets hurt the moment we do any type of physical activity.
We're
So,
old. All right, so we have another letter. This is from
Mrs.
Mrs.
Lesowitz.
Lesowitz. She says, "Hi everyone. By now, most of us, teachers and students alike, have begun to find a distance learning routine. As is the case in school, working from home certainly has its benefits and also its difficulties. For anyone that has ever spent any time with me in my classroom, you know that technology and I just do not get along. At school, it was always a smartboard that would challenge me. Here at home, it is a continuing disagreement between myself and my computer.
it's true. I've seen her fight with technology before.
However, I have definitely noticed that many students seem to be enjoying the ability to incorporate technology into their daily routine. As a matter of fact, some of my students and their families have even branched out into Mrs. L's tech support.
Do you think they get paid for that? No.
No.
Probably not.
That said, for those of you that do not have much luck or experience with technology, don't give up. I have found that planning and scheduling are so important, even when working with technology. You should never wait until the last minute to turn in your work, because you just know that that will be the day that the Wi-Fi goes out or your sibling will get to the computer first and you'll be stuck. Now more than ever, my advice is to organize your lives, people. That's in capitals.
She yelled it.
I would say it every day at school and honestly believe that planning your day, scheduling your time, and organizing yourself is more important than ever. There are no bells ringing to force us on to the next class. We are now all responsible for ourselves and our own success. Don't get overwhelmed. If you fall behind, regroup. You can do this, she says. Just take a deep breath, prioritize what needs to be done, create a realistic schedule that includes downtime, study time, work time, family time, time to exercise and play, and then hold yourself accountable. Finally, don't be afraid to ask for help. Even if we are not physically all together at school, we are still in this together. We are an email, post, or remind message away and would love to hear from you. Whether you need help or you just want to check in and say hi, be well, Miss L.
Leave it to Mrs. L, the English teacher, to write a 5-page letter. Thank you, Mrs. L.
Very good at it.
You gave me a great idea. We should totally set up a bell system for our son. Like, just throughout the day, just have a bell go off.
How about like a boat horn?
Yeah, have like a boat horn. Like, "Bah, time to change subjects." He would cry.
He doesn't like
the Vultures,
loud
and they're
noises.
crying again. It all comes back to that.
So let's get to our top 5 then, Mr. Vulture.
Yes,
what do you
let's
think?
do.
So
Let's
for
do.
those of you struggling, here is our top 5.
This is amazing. Okay, so we kind of stole, as you're gonna kind of see from Mr. Turnow and Mrs. Lesowitz's stuff.
Why are you rocking
I don't
and
know.
doing
We stole some of their ideas. I know. I'm excited. So these are Homeschool Like a Boss, Mr. and Mrs. Vulture's top 5.
top 5? And
Did we have a drum roll? No. What?
No, but we have trouble agreeing sometimes.
We did.
So it was
It was a ferocious fight. All right, here we go. Number 1 in no particular order.
create a daily routine. Stay organized. My advice, every day, check your email and your Google Classroom. Every day. Make sure you're checking it. What do you think?
I think yeah, sure. I think a routine. Checking email is like the bane of my existence.
But you have
to do it.
You have to
and
do it.
students, like, check your Google Classroom every day. Don't do what I do, which is sometimes I like wait for the alert app to like send me an alert on my phone. Like, you have to continually check it, and that's why routine's so easy, because you know, like, if at every day at 11 o'clock you go onto your Google Classroom and you work from like 11 to lunchtime or whatever it is, you set like that habit where you start to really stay on top of it. And that's why routine is so important. I know it sounds boring, but it's really forming habits to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, and I just think that new lessons come up, assignments might get modified, different things might happen, so you need to be logged in to that Google Classroom so that you are in the know. You're not going to know what's going on.
And knowing
if you're not.
is half the battle. G.I. Joe. It's a great cartoon.
I think they're too young to know that.
That's
You're
not
aging yourself.
That's maybe
1980, Mr.
Yeah,
Booth.
so it's a big deal. All
It's
right.
a big deal. So make sure you're checking your email and you're in your Google Classroom, staying organized.
Staying organized is over. Staying organized, like, I think people think staying organized is harder than it is. Really, staying organized is just staying on top of things in the now. That's all it is.
Have a clean workstation.
Yeah, it's
know
like-
where things are. Be prepared.
Like, if every time you do your homework or you do your work, you clean up before you leave, so that tomorrow when you go back to it, it's set up. Like, you don't get overwhelmed and fall behind.
It's just like your backpack at school. If everything is a disaster in there and you open it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's a disaster. When you clean it out and you make everything neat, that next day at school, you're like, ooh.
Have you seen some
here's
of these
the-
kids' backpacks at
Oh,
school?
yeah.
Like, we have a problem. We haven't talked about this. Dr. Reggio, listen to this. We have some students that are going to stunt their growth. Their backpacks are ginormous.
Well, they don't like to go to their
it's-
locker. And they
I know.
can't-
It's crazy. All right. Well, they don't have to worry. Now their lockers in their bedroom. It's called their dresser. Here we go. Number 2, in no particular order, read directions fully. This is
that again?
Mr.
What is
Turnow's
that?
favorite. Yes. All right, sorry. So reading directions is a big deal because
so important, you guys.
we're not there.
I know.
Like, I'm not there to repeat myself 30 times
I know.
like I do sometimes. And
all
I'm not going to say names, but you know who I'm talking about. I'm looking at you. So reading, like, since the teacher's not there to explain their directions, like, right in that moment when you're sitting down to do the assignment, it is so important for the student to read the directions carefully, and then if they have to, reread and just to double check to know what exactly they're expected.
And listen, guys, we're all different learners. Some of us don't learn well from reading directions. Sometimes you have to read them out loud so you hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need them read to you. So if there's someone in the house that can read the directions to you, sometimes you need to print them out or rewrite them. So that's where taking notes would be really helpful. We know that we're not there and that sometimes the delivery method of the instructions needs to come verbally. And if you really need that, then reach out to your teacher and say, I'm having trouble reading the
Or
directions
have your
and
parent,
understanding.
maybe have a parent or older brother or sister, like, he'd be like, hey brother, can you read this to me real
Right.
quick? What do
Right.
they want me to do?
Right. But make sure you're reading, because what's happening is you're going into the assignment, and this is happening a lot in my class, is that you're seeing what the assignment is, like the title of the assignment, and then you're straight away emailing me like, I don't have those materials, I can't do this,
I
what
know.
am I supposed to do?
Like, I just saw Mrs. Vulture's assignment is cooking cupcakes. Does she want me to cook cupcakes? And it's like, no, read the directions.
Right. So make sure you're reading the directions. So when you click into your Google Classroom, it's going to be that first blurb. Your assignments are going to be below. Before you click on the documents or the attachments or the videos, read the blurb on top, okay? It's going to be so helpful. And again, if you're the type of learner that needs it read to you, ask somebody at home or, to help you out. I get it. What's next, Mr. Vulture?
Are you ready?
Yes.
You excited? Boom. Here we go. Number 3 in no particular order. Oh, and by the way, can you make cupcakes tonight? Speaking of cupcakes.
No, but I can post a recipe for a microwave chocolate cake that you make in a coffee mug.
But make sure you read
really
the directions. Stay on top of it. Stay up to date with work and make up missing assignments. This one is so important because one of the advantages of this whole social distancing, learning from home thing is that I don't know a single teacher that is not giving credit for students who miss an assignment from home and then make it up. Mm-hmm. Like every student, every teacher in the middle school pretty much is allowing students to make up late work, which is a first. And it's an amazing thing if you have missed work. Mm-hmm. So really, it's making those connections. It's showing the teacher that you're there and you're trying to do your best. So if you go back and you make up a missed assignment, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
Which leads me to just stay on top of it. Like that's why routine's so important, because if you do the work every day,
it's more manageable.
It's more manageable. You stay on top of it. And if you miss, let's say Thursday was crazy, you had a bad day on Thursday, and then Friday comes. Don't overwhelm yourself on Friday. Like maybe do Friday's work and then do a tiny bit of Thursday's work, and then on Saturday make it up. Mm-hmm. Like stay on top of it.
And if
don't
you're
let it get
really
too
far behind, if you're one of those students that hasn't done anything yet, and you're like, forget it, I've already missed 10 assignments, and I'll never get caught up.
Do one at a time.
Do one at a time and reach out to your teacher and say, listen, I messed up. I'm ready to go. What can I do? And see if there's any flexibility. See if they'll tell you, okay, well, you know what? Do this, this, and this assignment first so you get caught up. And then you can slowly make up those other assignments or something like that, okay? So just keep us in the loop, because if you disappear and then you feel like you want to get back into it and you feel like you can't at that point because you're overwhelmed, that's not good. There's always time to try again and start over and do this thing, okay?
Yes.
You got to believe in yourself and do that. But don't get too far behind. Try to avoid that at all costs because it is overwhelming.
Number 4 is my favorite one. This is the best one coming up. Are you ready?
Yes.
Drum roll. Look at that picture. Take time to do something you love. This is my favorite one because this is what I love to do, is take time to do things for me.
Yes.
Does
Mr.
that sound
Vulture,
selfish? That
not
sounds
at
selfish.
all.
Well, it's just that I said to Dr. Reggio, one of the problems from working from home is like each day kind of just seems like it just melts into the next day. It feels like you're just doing the same thing every day. And I think taking time to do something you love, like taking time off, because we're always off now. We're home, but yet we're working. So you have to find new ways to take time off. Like you have to, do something fun, have a picnic outside, like do something, not just something you love, but do something you love that's different than things you do all the time, right? So if you're addicted to Fortnite, don't just play another game of Fortnite. Like do something different that's fresh, new, and gives your mind a break. I think humans need variety.
Well, it's just like at school when you have lunch or recess with your friends and you have that break from school. So build in a break. Don't wake up at your specific time and do schoolwork like straight through and get everything done if that's overwhelming to you.
Yeah.
If you need to put something in the middle and give yourself a break for something that you like to do every day. I know one of my students, Jackie, she just started jogging. She's like, I'm going to get into that. My sister does it. Maybe I'll try, So she's doing a walk jog right now and she's working her way into it. So this is the time to try something new that maybe you have an interest in that you didn't have time to do.
Yeah.
So build that into your day for you.
And since you're forced to social distance anyway, you could be private about it and no one needs to know how poor of a jogger you are. Like me, if I start jogging by myself, it would be a walk. And I don't have to tell anyone because we're home anyway. No one knows about it. So
yes.
It's the perfect time
I know,
to do
and
things.
I know it's overwhelming. I know school can be overwhelming, especially when you're reading the directions by yourself. You're isolated by yourself. You're looking at the work just coming and coming and coming in. So just take a breath. Work something into your day that you love to do.
Like making a comic. I want to see which one of my students want to make a comic book. Like, that would be cool. That's something to do right now. That would be super fun. Like a Captain Underpants comic book. Anyway, moving on. Number 5. You can read this one. You ready?
Okay, so set a goal for yourself and take responsibility. So you have to set a goal for yourself. At the end of the day, the only one that's responsible for what you're doing right now is you. So we all make excuses all the time of why we can't exercise more or eat right or keep our rooms clean.
All 3 have to do with me. She's attacking me
No,
right
I'm
now. Do
not.
you see this? This is on video.
But it's your responsibility ultimately. So you can say, well, my internet is too slow and my computer's too old and I have too much work and my sister won't share the laptop with me and all of those things. And I'm not saying they're not valid. All of those things are valid. However, it's still your responsibility to figure out a time when you can get your work done. Schoolwork is important. Your education is important. So you have to make sure to make it a priority. It's for you. We already went to school and college and graduate school. We did our education. We're here to help you get your education.
One of my speeches on the first day of school is that I always say, like, know why you're here. Like, you're not here because your parents make you come to school. Like, you're actually in school for a reason. You're here to learn and to prepare for the future and to be, to grow into a healthy, successful person. And so you need to understand that, like, at the end of the day, you're the person that's going to benefit if you do well in school and you learn, and you're the person that's going to suffer if you don't do well in school and you're not learning. And so you always kind of have to remember why you're doing it. You're not doing it so mom and dad don't get mad at you, and you're not doing it because your teacher says so. At the foundational level, you're doing it because you have to do it because you're the one that's going to benefit.
And you're worth it. Like, you're important. Yeah. You are an important person. You are worth doing it, investing the time, earning a good grade, and then feeling proud of yourself when you accomplish that thing. Yeah. So make sure you set those goals for yourself.
Homeschool like a boss from Mr. and Mrs. Vulture. Number 1, have a routine.
Yep.
Number 2, read directions fully. Number 3, stay up to date with your assignments so you don't get overwhelmed and fall behind. Number 4, take some time for yourself every day. Every day take some time, like spend an hour every day doing something just for you. And number 5, be responsible, like take ownership, be responsible for yourself. That's our top 5.
That's top 5.
That's top 5.
So let us know what your top 5 is and what's working for you. Send us an instant, a message either now through the chat or email us. Let us know. And we hope you guys have a great weekend. Should we do birthdays?
We should do birthdays.
So we have birthdays this week.
I'm so excited. Should we dance or no?
I don't think.
I put her on the spot. She's nervous.
No, the music's not dance.
All right, here we go. And we're back. So that's it for this week. We're done. Happy birthday to all the students. I do want to give a shout out to the birthday kids just because last week one of the students, I'm not going to use their name, but one of the students whose birthday it was said that they were really sad because like they can't have a party with their friends and things like that. And it's one of those things that like your birthday only comes once a year, and to like miss it because of the whole quarantine or to feel like you're missing it, because really it's still your birthday. You still can be totally rad that day and be pampered, but not to be able to have a party with your friends and things like that, it's super stressful. And just think, I know every day on the announcements we always announce the birthdays, but I feel like it's a little bit more meaningful now because these birthdays, you can't do the same thing you always would do, and I feel bad for those students.
And thank you for all of the teacher appreciation messages. Thanks, guys, so much. And thank you for the Happy Mother's Day messages, too. Yes. We really appreciate that. I appreciate that. And we hope you have a great weekend. I know it's going to be kind of crummy weather.
It's Friday.
But it should be the last of the crummy weather.
It's gonna be so cold. Don't.
It's gonna be cold.
It's awful.
But
polar vortexes.
But then it'll be
down.
over, and then it'll be lovely, and for her hopefully the duration.
Yes.
So enjoy your family.
Enjoy your Friday. See you guys on Monday.
And we hope this will helpful to you.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah.
Bye.